Hey guys, bonjour les gars. Today I'm gonna show my graphic settings because I've been messing around a lot lately, and I finally been able to max out my FPS. So I thought, why not just share this? So to start off with the display mode, I would recommend to use full screen borderless or full screen exclusive. This might depend on if you are a content creator or not. If you're not, just use exclusive so that your whole PC is gonna actually make it best to render Call of Duty. Otherwise, if you're someone who goes a lot off and on the game, just use full screen borderless. For the display monitor and the display adapter, just make sure you select the right monitor and your GPU basically. Dynamic resolution is something we never need. Aspect ratio, don't touch this. VSync, both of these are useless if you are into performance. Here we have some frame rate limits. Just max it out for gameplay. Put something like 100 for the menu, so you have still some decent frame rate in the menu, and something like 30 if you are out of the game. Restart shaders optimization is something that you want to check out if you have a lot of stutters and stuff, or if you hop off in the game and you hop on in the game and you see that suddenly you have a lot of FPS issues. Just restart the shader optimization. This should normally help yourself. Display gamma, normally don't touch this unless you're using a TV, then put this on 2.4. Brightness, I would recommend putting it a bit higher. And voila, that's it. HDR, just put it off if you want the maximum amount of visibility, because it doesn't really help. It just makes some color a bit brighter, uh, but the game is already bright enough in my eyes. So now we can go to quality. Render resolution, hold this on 100. That's the best way to use the whole of your FPS use it. Putain, je dis de la merde. Bref, vous m'avez compris, les gars. Please forgive my bad English. I'm from Belgium, by the way. Upscaling sharpening technique. I think that Fidelity FX CAS is the best. And it's also a consensus within the community on PC at least. I'm still waiting for the video of Digital Foundry to have like an in-depth video about all the differences, but it seems like Fidelity FX CAS is the best option for now. For anti-aliasing, I would recommend to use Filmic SMA2 T2X, because without it on the normal SMA, the game just looks so rough for me, so I wouldn't recommend using it. Anti-aliasing quality, just put it on normal if you want the best performance possible, because it's kind of a heavy setting. Video memory scale, max it out so that your PC is gonna use the all the VRAM available. Now we can go down here. Texture resolution, put this on low. There's no huge difference between low and high. Anisotropic texture quality high, doesn't change anything. Variable level of detail high also, and as well as distant level of detail. Those two don't change anything performance-wise. Clutter draw instance, I would recommend putting this on short, because it's a heavy setting also. Particle quality, there is actually a big difference, sorry, between high and low, but no big difference in the FPS usage. So just use the high one. Particle quality level low, because this one is pretty heavy on the GPU, and it still looks pretty decent. Bullet impact spray doesn't impact your FPS, so just put it on. I mean, it's preference, but I guess it's kind of useful information. Shader quality low, because if you put it on high, it's also a heavy setting. Tessellation, it doesn't change anything at the look at the game, so just put it off. Terrain memory on max, because low looks absolute garbage. On-demand texture streaming is something that you really want to put off, unless you want to have like the best graphics possible, but at the same time it downloads stuff while you are playing, which is not a good idea. Puis on est où ici? On est ici streaming quality, volumetric quality. Those two are both heavy settings, so I would recommend use low. Physical, c'est quoi? Physics quality on off, because it's also a high setting that uses a lot of VRAM. Water caustics, we don't need that because obviously you won't be a lot in the water. Pop, pop, pop. On peut descendre ici. Shadow map resolution, put it on low because it's quite a heavy one. Screen space shadows is basically yeah, screen space reflection, but unless you're playing the campaign, this is useless. Spot shadow quality low because with the lesser shadow you have you'll get a higher visibility at long distances. Spot cache, this is a really important one because this one is the one that made me have a lot of FPS issues at the start of the game. So probably that a lot of you guys have the same. And if you put this on ultra, you shouldn't have any FPS issue anymore, at least at the start of the game. Particle lighting on low, because there's no big difference between high and ultra, and between low and ultra. Ambient occlusion, that's definitely something you want off, because it's super mega heavy on the GPU. Screen space reflection, like above, you just put it off. Screen static reflection quality on low, this is also a heavy one. Weather grid volumes off, because we don't need that. Now we go to the post-processing effects, and we have here NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. If you have a monitor that can use this technology, I would recommend use on or on plus boost. You have to test both of it and see what's best for you. For me, I've actually seen zero difference between on or on plus boost, so I'm just on. And all the rest here, you actually do not need it, so just put all of these settings on off, 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 and 0.0. Then we go to the view. Ici, c'est tout ce qui est field of view. So, of course, this is a personal preference, but I would highly recommend to max it out or at least use 105 at least, so you have the maximum amount of information while you're playing. And also, strangely enough, this setting doesn't impact your FPS at all compared to Warzone 1, where it was like the opposite. So just max it out. Affected field of view, this is really important. This will make your gun look and feel a bit more, comment on dit ça, a bit further from you while you shoot. So your gun will appear smaller and you'll be able to control your visual recoil a lot better. Weapon field of view, this is something that I haven't really bothered checking, but I guess that it doesn't make a lot of difference. Et puis il y a le third person field of view et le vehicle field of view. This is also personal preference. I'm not someone who plays a lot of third person, but I guess but just max it out if you use it. Puis last setting, c'est ici les camera movements. Just put this off en mode least 50% because you don't want any kind of shake while you're playing or while there's an explosion or something, because this might throw your aim off. Et puis, on a fait le tour. Il reste le dernier spectator camera. You can choose whatever you want, but when you're in the game and spectating someone, you can always just toggle the camera by pressing a button. So this doesn't really matter. For me, I like the helmet camera because even though it kind of give a head edge, it's still a semi-cool looking camera. So là, ça de prix quoi. So, c'est tout. Ouais, on a déjà fait le tour. Respect à vous. If you did enjoy this, make sure to leave a like. We have plenty of content coming on Warzone. My first dub was yesterday during the stream, so you could check that out. And yeah, that's it. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a dislike if you enjoy or didn't enjoy this. This is Rayto capping off. And as I said, forgive my bad English. I'm from Belgium and I usually speak French, but I guess that most of the community out here speaks English. So that's it. This is Ray 2 capping off. Beep, beep.